We are back, guys, with another episode of Johnny on the Track. And this is kind of like a dream come true for me. This is the first time, and it's cool because it's such a young show. So to have someone like this guest come on this early into the show is really cool. But so this is the first time we will be having somebody that is directly in the industry. How much so? Well, let me put it this way. He was just spotting in the Daytona 500 last week. So, I mean, it's just amazing to have this guy on. His name, Trent Owens. Who is Trent Owens? If you don't know, but I really hope that all the NASCAR, fans, the diehard NASCAR fans are listening to this podcast. If you don't ever listen again, I hope you listen to this podcast because this one's going to be awesome. But I keep listening. Anywho, so his name's Trent Owens. He is the spotter for Ryan Preece, who drives the number 37 Chevrolet JTG Daugherty. That is a handful every time I say it. Chevrolet. And so he and Preece just finished sixth in the Daytona 500. And that comes even in the first stage where they had a second place finish. So they were just one spot from getting a playoff point, which would have been huge. But again, they had a great night, got a lot of points throughout the whole race. Even had a good Daytona duel where they were able to get some points. So, yeah, I mean, he's going to come on. He's going to tell us about how that experience went. He's going to dissect, the Daytona 500, his results, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the future. So I'm just excited and ready to have him on. And so now we will fast forward to that interview with Trent Owens, again, the crew chief for Ryan Preece. So I am now super excited to introduce our next guest to the show. He's the current crew chief for the number 37 JTG Daugherty. That's a lot to handle. Chevrolet, driven by Ryan Preece. And of course, he's also worked with Eric Amarola, Kyle Larson, and Mark Martin, the Hall of Famer in his career. And we are super excited to have him on Johnny on the Track. Trent Owens. He came up as William here.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're super excited. So let's get right into it. Let's flash back to Sunday. You finish sixth in the 500. You start stage one. You come out swinging. Second in stage one. Stage two, I believe, was it 11th, you guys?
Yeah, we got shoved out right at the last lap to 11th. So we missed the stage point. Yeah.
So stage one, you're right there to get a playoff point. Stage two, you're right outside the cut line to get a point. And then again, stage three, you finish sixth. Are you guys as a team satisfied with that?
Oh, we're extremely happy with that. I don't know how much you know about our race team, but the 37 car is running as an open car, meaning not a chartered car. So, our big plan was just at least go down there and just make the race. So I feel like we overachieved with everything outside of winning. From finishing sixth, qualifying in the race, running good in the duels, that second place finish to get those 9 stage points was just huge for our race team.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you talked about how you're an open car, not chartered this year, which to me as a fan of Ryan is frustrating, if I'll be honest with you. But let's talk about that. So what is the mindset of your team, of you coming in knowing, well, shit, I don't even know if we're going to be in this dang thing. I mean, this is the granddaddy of racing. and we have to qualify to get in. What are you thinking?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it was a tough month, a very stressful month of January preparing the race car. It's like you don't want to miss anything because you don't have the 50 minutes of practice to be ready to qualify. And
Yes.
it was different than years past of having that charter, knowing that you had a little room. You always try to do your best. Every race is big. We don't leave anything on the table any week. I'm not a big believer in work a little bit harder. I think you got to work hard all the time to be successful in this sport. And yeah, so it was relieving when we started practice to know we had the speed to get in on time.
Yes.
But that month of January it was simply stressful. I don't know any other way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine just what, I watched the interview Ryan said, and he said something which I really liked. He said, this has been my whole racing career,
Mm-hmm.
just trying to, when the pressure is against me, I'm going to perform. And that's exactly what you guys did as a team. So I want to go a little further into that. Um, you know, with that mindset, coming in, and then you don't even get to practice. You get like an
Mm-hmm.
hour of
Yeah.
practice. And then on top of that, you go 15 laps, and then there's a giant rain delay.
Uh-huh.
Just tell me like how that, does that take a toll, an emotional toll on you? Talk to me
Yeah,
about that.
well, fortunately for me, I've been around this sport since I was a child and working as a crew chief for some 15 years now. So I've learned to expect the unexpected. But yeah, we just never could seem to get in a rhythm until that rain moved out. It
Tell me
was like
about it, man.
it was like they were kind of calling for some rain around qualifying time. Luckily, it never happened. But yeah, we run. I like me and Ryan got together before we ever went to Daytona, and we said, you know what? Let's go down there and let's just race. Let's try to get as much points as we can get, whether it be the duels, whether it be the stages. We're just not going to lay back. And if we can stay near the front, typically the accidents don't happen at the front. They happen more in the middle. So you're generally safe at the front or safe at the back. And so we're at the front. It's like, okay, this is good. Car's handling like we want. Ryan's doing a good job. And man, I don't even know if we missed it by a half inch. It was close, right?
So here's my question. So perfect, because this segues right into my next question. So lap 15, the big one comes out too early in my opinion, but that's just my own opinion. What are you saying to Ryan, who literally, I mean, you watch the tape back, it's a hair. It's a hair he misses that one by. What are you saying in his ear?
He was like, I'm clean. And he said, maybe my shorts is not clean. I said, I hadn't seen the replay, but it must have been close. And so when I saw it, I was like, whoo. I was like, I said, good job, man. Cause you got sideways after the wreck, even trying to come down the bank, and he did a good job saving it. But he was just, my worry was at that point, okay, he told me he's clean and with a high pitched voice, cause it was close. And then I was like, well, did you run through any debris? Because I don't want to blow a tire riding around there in caution. I got to make a decision right away whether we're going to do tires or not. And then once the red flag was lifted, we did do tires. But my thoughts immediately, okay, he made it through it. Let's not let another mistake happen. So I'm always forward thinking. That is my job position. So, but yeah, I could see the replay, and I was like, whew, that was close. That's about as close as you're going to get to being in an accident. So it was our night was kind of going the right way when that happened.
Yeah, I mean, think about it, right? Like, you guys were fortunate. You take a look at Blaney, who's spinning and missing cars and missing cars, and you're like, wow, Blaney made it through that. That's crazy. Wet grass,
right?
Or
the nose right off.
So, yeah, I mean, it plays a part in just being lucky, and you guys executed well there. So let's go a little deeper.
Okay.
The race, right? It starts off hot. Lap 15 is the big one. But then after that, aside from the game plan of the green flag stops, was it surprising that, they went single file on that top line for so long? I mean, I get, you got to save gas, but were you surprised that's how, they were calling it?
Yeah, I thought maybe usually the first race of the season, I think we see Daytona 500 have probably statistically a little more accidents than the other speedways. everybody wants to race, right? They've been sitting at home over the winter and they're just ready to go. But that the accident was quite big, and it took some really, really competitive cars away from the race. So, I think at that point there was guys racing at the front, and they were kind of happy where they were, and then the guys that was kind of on tail end, they wasn't way back, right? Because there's only 20 cars on lead lap or something. Like it just wasn't a huge pack, so nobody got real racy. They knew as we got to the end, we would try to race for stage points, and I think everybody just got kind of comfortable with their manufacturers and knowing we had a green flag fuel only. There was really no reason to risk crashing again, I should speak, because there was nothing really to gain until we made our green flag stop.
Yeah, absolutely. So did you going in, I'm sure you did, but did you know going in, all right, we got to work with Chase, we got to work with Austin. I'm trying to think of another Chevrolet car, but for example,
Yeah.
Chase and Austin, you say, I think we have a good car. I think we can keep up with those guys. Are we going to work with them?
Yes, I think, the Ford camp was really the first one to kind of get together and come up with plans on these speedways. And then the Toyotas are somewhat outnumbered. So we know they just grab onto the best group. And Denny seems to be able to do what he wants anyways at a lot of them places. But, it kind of by default, you end up in kind of manufacturer alliance when you're out there racing. Now, one thing for us is running second in that stage, that give those other drivers that trust that they could also help us and have speed, so we had to earn a little trust there in that first stage, because a lot of times we have laid back in the past to the final stage. But yeah, I had a comfort level that we could work with some of the Chevrolets for most of the race. We knew on the last lap of the race anything can happen, so but yes, it's nice knowing that trust, because we knew the Fords are going to help the Fords. We knew the Toyotas are going to grab onto whoever. So if we can alliance ourselves, even without communication, knowing that trust, we have a pretty big pack of Chevrolets.
Were you surprised that, a second lane didn't start a little earlier with maybe 2 to go, 3 to go?
I was very surprised. Throughout the race, though, it seemed like it was a struggle to get a bottom line. When a long line got joined at the top, it was really a struggle for the bottom line. I haven't seen that a lot, so I don't know exactly the dynamic in that race was going on, but it really struggled to get bottom lanes going for some reason. And I was, even at the end of the race, I was really shocked that no moves were kind of made. But if you go back and look, you had a few Fords at the front, you had a few Chevrolets next, you had a Toyota next, then you had us, and then you had another group of Toyota. It was kind of like a perfect mix for nobody to make a move, because you didn't trust the cars that were running behind you.
Were they going to go with
me? They would go with you, right?
Yeah,
so it's kind of like a perfect storm for everybody to stay in line. But I was hoping at least 2 laps to go, they would start getting double foul, and we could try to make some moves to the lead.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I think, with your car and Chase's car and Austin's car and even Kyle Busch, I mean, I thought someone would pull out and try to get something, and Michael McDowell was just the lucky end, right?
Yeah, he's right where he needed to be. I mean, he's up there a lot at those speedways. Congrats to them guys, but you're right. He was in the perfect spot for something like that to happen. But I don't live in the past, but had the 3 and the 9 and the 42, if they'd have made a move earlier, maybe things would have got shook up a little bit,
Yeah. Do you think any part of, the lack of practice and the lack of being able to like get in a draft and all that during practice, do you think that played a part in any of that?
I think it probably played a part in that lap 15 accident.
Okay.
I think by the final stage, everybody adjusted on their cars and was comfortable, and I think it was racing as normal. But I would say some of that impatience in that first 15 laps could be attributed to that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. And so I want to go a little deeper with, your team. Do you think, what do you think you guys have to do with now? I don't know this, but I expect a limited number of races. Am I correct there?
Being an open car, you have that option to sit out some races if one, you don't feel like the payouts were enough to go if you don't have sponsor for that event. Just anything like that. You do have the option. With a charter team, you have to show up to every race or you lose your charter. So from that standpoint, yeah, there is a chance we could miss some races. For everything my team is telling me, and I think they've told the media, we have 24 events that are sponsored. So we know we're going to 24 events. And as long as we keep performing well, like we did in Daytona, I think the company will find ways for us to do them all. So really for our race team is just try to keep performing at a high level and things will fall in place. This is one business where performance fixes everything.
Yes, it does. and I hope so. So building on that, what do you guys need to do to secure that 16, maybe that 12, whatever it might be, to get into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it's just consistency. We're obviously going to have some good weeks. We're going to have some bad weeks. That's just the way a NASCAR season goes. But it's just consistency. Our bad weeks need to be 22nds and 23rds. The DNFs we had last year just absolutely killed us. Even our teammate 47 experienced the same thing. And you can't rebound from DNFs because the cars don't follow the race. And unless something happens, right? And we had a lot of freak things happen last year. So if we can make our bad days 25th and 22nds and not 35th and 40th, and make our good days 15th to 10th, we'll have a chance to point our way in. Now, McDowell winning that race certainly wasn't one that the garage counted on, right? So that throws a little bit more performance anxiety in.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point you brought up with, last year, what was it, 4 or 5 in a row of DNFs. And you look right at when Kurt Busch won the championship. He didn't win that many races, but he finished every one, right? And
Correct.
So it's just like a bad finish for him was a 25th, which you still put up points. And
that's right.
When every race, you need to grab points. I mean, that's an interesting point, and I'll be rooting for you guys. Like I said, I'm a huge Ryan Preece fan, so I'll tell you this.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm from the New England area.
Oh, nice.
So I root for Ryan and Anthony Alfredo, Kaz Gralla, Joey, and I know I get a little crap rooting for Joey Logano, but
that's all right. That's all right. Joey's
I'm
good.
Stand true. So
everybody's got their favorites, right? I like Joey.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about now the fastest lap trivia. So I want to get this in with you. I think it's going to be fun. I think you're going to enjoy it. So what we do is we're going to ask you some questions. So normally we do one question, but since you guys are at the road course this week, you got a lot of time. So the fastest lap ever at the Daytona road course was by an F1 driver. He ran 1 minute 33 seconds. So basically, you're going to get 1 minute 33 seconds to answer these two questions. And the way I do it, my first guess for this week is you're going to get as many guesses as you want for the first question, but that second one, you only get one guess.
Oh,
good. All right, is that good?
Try it.
All right, let's do it. So we'll get the timer up here. That up. And so
I'm not gonna Google this or nothing. So let's see.
So your question are JTG oriented questions. So hopefully, if this doesn't go well, I might have to cut this part out. But all right. So again, 1 minute. We'll round it up. 1 minute 34 seconds because it was 0.685. So you get 1 minute 34 seconds to answer these two questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First question. Your current driver, Ryan Preece, was a Whelen Modified Tour star prior to his Cup Series career. During his tour career, which he still runs, by the way, what track has he won most at? Winning here 8 times. Time is going.
Gosh, I haven't checked up on him like that. Thompson?
Close.
Gosh. I don't know the tracks that well up there.
It's close to Thompson. Do you know another one?
Flemington? No.
No.
No,
All right. All right. Well, we'll
not
pause.
real familiar with the tracks.
So Stafford Speedway.
Stafford. God, he talks about that. Now I know. Yeah.
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 So and I think he runs the 37 New York car. I think that's his car number. But yeah, so he's won there 8 times, and I've seen him there
Wow.
a couple times. So yeah, he
He's
he,
good.
he owns the Northeast, man.
He's good up there. I know. I noticed when we went to New Hampshire how well liked he is up there. He's a fan fave for sure.
Yes, yes. So actually, just actually this past summer we went to the Milan. No, not the Wheel and Tour event. I believe it was the Tri Track Series race. I don't know if you remember when he ran that one,
Mm-mm.
but the winner cashed like 10 grand or something. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so it was a pretty big money race for a small
Oh,
event.
last year,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And so, when he returned home, I mean, place was on its feet in a COVID
Uh,
crowd. I mean, he's the real deal up there. So that's all right. I'm gonna go with the second one, and man, I hope you get I hope you get this one. So this one, Brad Daugherty, current owner of JTG Daugherty, is an NBA legend and should be in the Hall of Fame for basketball fans. Basketball fans know that. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, where does he rank in terms of Cavaliers points scored?
what? I know absolutely nothing about the NBA. I just know he was number 43. Let's see, how many points? 2000, and I don't know.
No.
I don't.
So where does he rank all time?
Oh, all time. Um, First.
LeBron is first, so he's second.
Okay. You see how much I watch NBA then.
That's all right. That's all right. We appreciate you playing. That's
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first thing.
Uh,
What'd you think of it though? Do you like the game?
what's that? Your
The,
game? Yes, yes, that's awesome.
all right.
I'm not a great trivia guy. I usually just drink the beer.
That's all right. That's all right. So we're trying this. Something the guys seem to enjoy it that I've had it that I've had on so far, and so we're
Yeah.
trying this, and then I'll tell you another one. So we had a guy named, I don't know if you know him, but Randy the plumber. Have you heard of him?
Oh yeah, I've watched him on Twitter. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yes.
yeah, it's funny. Or
Yeah,
YouTube. I don't know. I can't remember what I watched him. But yeah, he talks at the TV, cusses out. That's great.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So we had him on, and since he was a plumber, I think he's still a part-time plumber, but we had him on, and we did a little game called Clogged or Clean, and basically we would throw up like an old paint scheme, and he would
Uh-huh.
tell us if it was if it was good, it was clean, and if it was shit, it was clogged. So he really enjoyed he really
That's
enjoyed.
good. Yeah, I didn't do too good. So
That's all right. That's all right.
yeah,
Do you give us permission to air that part?
yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, all right, all right.
People will probably give me a rough time, but I'm good with that.
All right, all right. So yeah, man. My last question, just what does you talked about? I think you guys said 24 races.
Mhm.
Looking forward, what are you marking down on the calendar? What's okay? I'm ready for this, and I think if we come, we execute, we bring a good car. This is somewhere where I think we could get an upset Michael McDowell-esque win.
Yeah, I think that I'm gonna put a lot of focus towards like our Richmond race, our Martinsville race. I think Ryan runs good at some of the like the Atlantas, the Homesteads. Some of these early events is really good races for us. So I think as an organization, it kind of cycles around, right? Sometimes you start the season out, you don't know what teams have kind of regressed or gotten better,
Yeah,
or what tracks are going to be favorable for your cars you're building this season. So we'll have to kind of see that. But um, there towards the end of the year, I thought we finished really, really well,
yeah,
and
yeah.
um, I'm looking forward to Phoenix. I think Phoenix we had a really good car. And then we got into the wall early to kind of ruin things, but that wasn't of his doing. The track was pretty dirty. So I'm really looking forward to going back out to Phoenix.
Yeah, awesome. And I had one more question I was going to ask you, but that might that might be it because I can't even remember the question. But
That's
again,
all right.
man, I appreciate you coming on. I'm excited to continue to watch you guys this season. I think, yeah, I mean, look, I think you guys are going to have a real chance, and I'm rooting for you. And yeah.
Well, I appreciate all the support, man. And
Yeah.
we're going to try our best to make the company get us all them races in.
Perfect. All right. Again, Johnny on the track, Trent Owens, crew chief for the number 37 Chevrolet. Thank you for coming on.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Take care, man.
All right. Bye.